Well, that was surreal. Sitting across from you like that, all official and serious. I kept thinking, is that really my big sister? You even had a clipboard. So fancy. It's completely standard. We're required to take notes during every interview. But yes, it was strange for me too. Seeing your name on the schedule this morning was a surprise. I had no idea you'd even moved back to the area. Oh yeah, I didn't really tell anyone. I kind of wanted to figure things out on my own first, you know. And then I saw the job posting and thought, hey, why not? It's a good company and you're here, so how bad can it be? The position only just opened up. The last person left unexpectedly. So they wanted someone who could start quickly and handle the role without a long onboarding process. Right. Jump in and go. You said that during the interview. Don't worry, I totally get it. You need someone capable, reliable, ideally someone with a degree. I said someone capable. The rest is for HR to decide. The interview portion is done. The next step is the skills test. Oh, that. Yeah, you mentioned that too. Ugh, do I really have to take it? I mean, you know I've got the background. I went to college. I mean, it's kind of silly, don't you think, a skills test? I already went to college, Nora. 4 years. Isn't that, like, the ultimate test? It's company policy. Every applicant takes it, regardless of education. The interview measures communication and mindset. The test evaluates the technical side. Oh, come on. I'm your sister. You know I've got this. Can't you just mark me down as passed or give me a little boost? I mean, who's gonna know? I can't. And even if I could, I wouldn't. It wouldn't be fair to the other candidates. And for the record, I don't oversee the scoring. I'm only involved in the interview portion. That's because you're not qualified to grade it, right? I mean, no offense or anything. It's just, like, you didn't finish school, so they probably don't let you do that part. That's not how it works, and you don't need to worry about what I'm qualified for. You just need to focus on the test. Okay, no need to get touchy. I was just making an observation. No need to take it personally. You know, you've always been kind of rigid, like, ever since we were kids. Rules. Meanwhile, I'm over here just trying to make things easier for both of us. Easier isn't always the same as right. If you want the job, you'll take the test like everyone else. That's how we do things here. Right, everyone else. Sure, even though you know I could do this job in my sleep. I'm not questioning your potential, Shelley. I'm asking you to follow the process. That's how this company works. You either meet the standard or you don't. Well, if you're not going to give me a pass on the test, I might have to come up with a plan B. Plan B? Shelley, what are you planning? Please don't go and do anything inappropriate or stupid or illegal. I want you to succeed, Shelley. I just want you to do it honestly. That's all. Geez, lighten up, will you? I'm just saying. I need to figure out some way to pass the skills test. That's all. Anyway, I should head to the test site before I'm late. Not that I need it, but rules are rules, right? Don't worry, I've got everything under control, and I don't have any more time to waste with you, so bye-bye. Guess what? I got the job! HR called this morning, said I did amazing on the test. They even used the word exceptional. Like, hello? Of course I did. I told you I was overqualified. You're serious? You passed the skills test? Wow, okay, that's not what I expected to hear today. I'm genuinely curious what HR was thinking. Wow, so no congratulations? Just doubt? Geez, Nora, I know you're not the cheerleader type, but still, try to act like you're happy for me, just a little. It's not that I'm not happy you found the job, but yes, I'm shocked. I mean, we both know you've never exactly been the tech-savvy one in the family. The last time I watched you try to send an email, it took you 20 minutes to figure out where the compose button was. Oh my gosh, that was years ago. Stop living in the past. People change, Nora. I'm not the same clueless little sister anymore. Time moves on, you know. Honestly, Nora, you sound like you wanted me to fail. That's kind of mean, even for you. I didn't want you to fail, Shelley. I just didn't think you'd pass. There's a difference. You've never been interested in learning this kind of stuff. The fact that you suddenly aced a test full of technical knowledge and system logic, it's odd. It's called growth. Look it up. People change. Skills can be learned. Maybe I've been brushing up behind the scenes. Ever think of that? Really? Since when? You literally called me last year to ask how to convert a Word doc to a PDF. And now you're passing mid-level software tasks with no problem? Come on, Shelly, it doesn't add up. Okay, wow, you really think I'm that helpless, don't you? I said I passed. I didn't say I hacked into the Pentagon. You need to chill. It's just a job, not a covert operation. Fine, look, if you really did pass fair and square, then good. As long as you can actually do the work, that's all that matters. Good, because I'm not planning to just do the work. I start next week and I'm already making moves. Different department, obviously, thank goodness. It would have been way too weird reporting to my dropout sister. We wouldn't have worked in the same chain anyway, different teams, different functions. And you can relax, I have no interest in pretending we're sisters here. Oh, good, because I feel exactly the same way. Seriously, do not tell anyone we're related. Just the fact that you're my sister is bad enough. I don't want anyone else knowing. I mean, you're doing fine for yourself, I guess, but let's be honest, telling people my sister's a high school dropout isn't exactly the best look. Thanks for the reminder. Really uplifting. Though now that you're suddenly into moving up the ladder, maybe you'll learn not to burn bridges your first week. Speaking of that, don't take it personally, but I do plan on rising through the ranks fast. Like, really fast. Faster than you did. I've got a 4-year degree and a killer sense of style. It's inevitable. First step, prove I'm the better employee. Second step, fire you. Fire me? That's not how it works. You don't just show up, declare yourself queen, and start handing out pink slips. Especially not to someone who's been here for years and actually earned their way up. Oh, come on, don't be so dramatic. I'm just saying I've got goals, big ones. And by the way, I heard you started out at, like, what, $24,000 a year? That true? It was years ago. Starting salaries were lower then, especially for entry-level roles. $24,000? Wow, that's honestly kind of depressing. See, I'm aiming way higher than that, triple at least. I want to start at 72, minimum. 72,000 for an entry-level position? That's not how corporate pay scales work. Why not? If they gave that much to a high school dropout, surely a college grad like me deserves triple. It's just logic, a simple math, really. There you go again with the high school dropout thing. I've been meaning to talk to you about that. Oh God, I love talking about that. I'll never forget the day Mom and Dad told you that they weren't going to pay for your lunches anymore. And then the day they told you that they weren't going to drive you to school either. You would have to walk all the way by yourself. It's your own fault for being such a loser. You know what you were saying earlier about how a lot can happen in 10 years? Well, 10 years have gone by for me too. You remember when I left home, right? Sure, you left a note on the kitchen table and vanished. No one even knew where you went, and we didn't really care either. I moved in with Aunt Mandy. Aunt who? Mandy, Mom's younger sister. We have an Aunt Mandy? Since when? Since always. I guess you've never met her, though. She saw what was happening, how our parents treated me. She tried to talk to them, set things straight. It turned into a screaming match and nearly ended with police involvement. After that, she and our parents stopped talking to each other entirely. Huh. So two losers found each other. Makes sense. Why do you assume she's a loser? Because she stood up for me and they didn't listen? You really think winning means treating someone like garbage and getting away with it? I mean, after that, they had a fight. Aunt Mandy was the one who walked away, right? Sounds like Mom and Dad won. Anyway, let's get back on topic. You keep calling me a high school dropout like it's a fact. It's not. I got my GED while living with Aunt Mandy. Then I went to a vocational school and earned my certifications. After that, I started working here. Worked my way up, every promotion, every pay raise. I earned it. So that means you're not actually a dropout? No, I'm not. I didn't walk across a stage in a cap and gown, but I got my education, just in a different way. Huh. Well, good for you, I guess. Still, I mean, come on, a 4-year university degree is still more impressive. I did papers, group projects. I had professors that really liked me. That means way more than your stupid easy mode college. Knock it off. Knock off what? I'm just stating the obvious. No, you're looking down on people just because their path wasn't yours. Not every high school dropout is a failure. A lot of them go on to do incredible things. And others had circumstances you can't even begin to understand. You need to take that into account. Okay, now you're getting preachy. I didn't come here for a life lesson, Nora. I came here to start a job. And I'm telling you this because you're about to start working with real people. People with different backgrounds, some with degrees, some without, some who struggled just to get here. If you walk around with that attitude, you're going to burn bridges faster than you can build them. Yeah, everyone has a story. Respect the journey, blah, blah, blah. Are you done? I'm serious, Shelley. This stuff matters. You can't go into a workplace thinking you're better than everyone else. It won't end well. I think I'll be just fine. You don't need to worry about me. I know how to play nice. I just also happen to know I'm pretty great. Is that such a crime? There is a difference between confidence and arrogance, and right now, you're not on the right side of it. Just be careful. That's all I'm saying. Wow, I forgot how exhausting you can be when you get like this. You've always had this weird thing where you act calm, but you're actually judging me super hard the entire time. It's honestly kind of impressive. I'm not judging you. I'm trying to help you not walk face first into disaster of your own making. Well, thanks for the wisdom. I'm sure I'll treasure it forever. But I've got my own plans, my own goals, and I don't need a lecture. It's not a lecture, it's a warning. This place expects results. Show them you're serious, and you might actually do well here. Duh, that's the plan. I've got ambition, style, a degree, and charm. You think I'm not gonna kill it? I'm gonna do just fine, Nora, with or without your approval. Good luck, Shelley. I mean it. You're going to need it. Yeah, we'll see who's congratulating who by the end of this quarter. I know it's after hours, but can we talk for a minute? Joan? Oh, wow, this is unexpected. You never text me unless it's about quarterly reports or printer malfunctions. What's going on? It's about your sister, Shelley. I wasn't sure if I should say anything, but I think you'd want to know. Oh no, what does she do now? Don't sugarcoat it. I know exactly what kind of chaos she's capable of. That's the thing. I don't even know where to begin. It's one of those things where you think, no way this is real, but then it keeps happening. Honestly, it's a little too much for text messages. Great, one of those stories. Okay, let's not do this through thumbs. Want to meet in person? There's that little cafe near the office, the one with the weird chairs, but good coffee. It's usually pretty quiet this. My first paycheck, and it's only $1,537.44. That's not even close to what I was expecting. I was thinking at least $2,500. This is not enough. Shelley, I tried to tell you. You're in an entry-level position. No one makes that kind of money at the start. But I'm a college grad. Doesn't that mean anything around here? This place is seriously messed up. I'm gonna give HR a piece of my mind. You should honestly be glad you're getting anything. Glad? For what? Being underpaid? This is insulting. I have a degree. I went to college. I am worth way more than $1,500 every 2 weeks. About that, I did a little checking just to clear something up, and it turns out you're not actually a college grad. What? What are you even talking about? Of course I am. My resume says so. I know it does. That's what made me curious. So I talked to a few people, names you'd probably recognize. Tom and Joe from HR, Tucker and Scott from IT. Huh? What do they have to do with anything? What would you be talking to those guys for? Because Scott's engaged to Joan. You remember Joan from legal? Her dad sits on the board of directors. Oh no. Yeah, you might want to sit down for this next part. Scott was on track to lead the entire IT department someday. Brilliant guy, clean record, company favorite. But then the weirdest thing happened. Even with all his talent, potential, and status as a rising star in the company, he resigned. Yesterday. And do you know why? I have no idea. Nope, I couldn't tell you. You waited for Scott after the skills test. You put the moves on him, asked him out for drinks, got him plastered, then you slept with him. And after that, you blackmailed him. You told him to pass you or you'd go to Joan. That's not how it happened. Really, because he confessed to everything. To Joan and to her father. That's why he resigned. He couldn't live with the guilt anymore. And once he cracked, we started digging. Wait, what do you mean digging? What else did you find? We reviewed your hiring records, interview scores, testing logs, access logs, all of it. Turns out, Scott wasn't the only one. No way. Oh, this can't be happening. Oh, but it is. You pulled the same stunt with Tom and Joe from HR. Both gave you perfect scores. Isn't that strange? One of your interviewers gave you a 30, the other's perfect hundreds. They played dumb at first and said it was a coincidence until we showed them what Scott admitted. Oh, and you didn't stop there. Yes, I did. I swear to God, that's all I did. You kept pressuring Scott after you got hired. You had him doing all your work for you. And when he started pulling back, you moved on to Tucker. Another IT staffer, another target, same playbook. Tom, Joe, and Tucker will all be facing disciplinary action. Could be suspension, could be termination. That's HR's call. But you, there's no debate about what's coming for you. Don't tell me. I'm gonna get fired. Are you serious? Why me? You orchestrated the biggest hiring scandal this company has ever seen. Do you seriously think you could blackmail 4 employees across 2 different departments and just walk away from it? I didn't think I'd get caught. And yet, here we are. You did get caught, and now you're in trouble. Big trouble. Okay, wait. Maybe we're overreacting here. Can't we just call it a misunderstanding and move on? I mean, nobody's really hurt, right? Shelley, Scott resigned. Joan was humiliated. Her dad is furious. You used sex and blackmail to manipulate people into doing your work for you. That's not a misunderstanding. That's predatory. But I need this job. I didn't think it would blow up like this. You'll be officially terminated tomorrow. Your badge has already been deactivated. And if I were you, I wouldn't show up to the building again. Ever. Nora, no, you can't do this to me. You don't understand. I wouldn't be able to pay my rent at this rate. If I don't get this job, I don't know what I'll do. Please, can't we talk about this? Nora, are you there? Nora, please. That's when I found out they'd kicked Shelley out a year ago. They didn't even seem surprised, just tired. Apparently 3 years ago, she had an affair with a married man and wrecked his home. A year after that, she did it again with someone else's husband. Even as much as my parents spoiled her, now she was starting to be a threat to their own reputations, so they promptly and unceremoniously kicked her out of the house. Then she spiraled. She bounced from guy to guy for months, cheating on each one with the next. Word got around, as it always does. Now she's infamous, the kind of name you hear in whispers followed by, "Don't go near her, nobody wants to be next." She was desperate, needed a job, and in her mind, if someone like me, her older sister, the so-called high school dropout, could make it here, then she could too. She'd just lie her way in, flash a few smiles, and force the world to hand her all her demands on a silver platter. It's about time she learned that the world isn't such a convenient place, especially when you're as stupid as she is.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Molly, what's the meaning of this? What's going on here? Molly, where are you? Answer me! Molly! Pick up your phone, Molly! This instant!
What do you want? And could you stop blowing up my phone with notifications already? It's getting annoying.
There you are! It's about time you answered me. Now, would you tell me what's going on with the house? I just got home and the front door was locked!
Oh, that? I can explain that. I moved while you were away on your vacation.
You moved? What do you mean you moved?
Oh, you need me to explain that too? It's very simple, Keith. When someone moves, it means they go and live in a different house. I took all my stuff and started living in a new place, so that means I moved. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Are you mocking me right now?
Why would you think that? You asked me a question, so I answered it. Oh, did you not understand that explanation earlier? Should I draw you a picture or something? Would that help you?
You're out of your goddamn mind, Molly! Either you've gone completely insane or you're just pulling some stupid joke on me! Which is it?
It's neither, actually. I'm not out of my mind or insane or joking. I just used my big girl brain to do some serious thinking, came to the obvious conclusion, and acted on it. Now, would you like me to give you some helpful advice on what you should do next? You see, there are these wonderful, magical devices called keys. You have a bunch of them on a loop called a keychain. So take your keychain, find the key that fits into the front door, and open it.
Knock that off, obnoxious woman! Yes, Molly, I already took my magical key and unlocked the door. You actually went and took all your stuff out of the house? What on earth do you think you're doing, Molly? Why are you acting this way?
You mean you really don't know why?
How am I supposed to know? I just got back into town after being away on business for a week, and all of a sudden my wife has moved out? Explain yourself!
You were away on business, were you?
Yes, I was! I already told you that before I left! And what about Tyler? Where is he?
You don't have to worry about him. He's with me, of course. Didn't you look in his room? All his stuff is gone, too.
This is absolutely unreal, Molly! You dragged our son along on this stupid, immature stunt of yours?
It's all right. I told him exactly what's going on. He's not scared, confused, or anything, so there's no problem.
Of course there's a problem! There are nothing but problems here! And you still haven't explained to me why you're doing this, so let's start there! Well, Molly, why are you doing all this?
I don't know. I still have a hard time believing that you don't already know exactly why this is happening.
Well, believe it or not, I'm completely clueless as to what's running through that thick head of yours. All I know is that my idiot wife has gone and done yet another stupid and selfish thing.
I'm sorry, yet another? Just what do you mean by that?
You're always doing or saying some kind of stupid or selfish thing around the house. You mean to tell me you don't even realize that? God, you're so oblivious. I really can't stand you when you're like this.
When have I said or done something stupid or selfish? I don't know. I'm drawing a blank. Can you give me an example?
You want examples, huh? How much time do you have? I could go on all day. About just last month, I checked my bank transaction history and found out that you took money out of my account without my permission. And I don't think you ever told me what in God's name you did with that money. So what did you do with it? You go on a little shopping spree? Is that how you paid for your new handbag?
Wrong on all counts, I'm afraid. First of all, that bank account is not your account. It is our shared account. And as for my new handbag, I paid for it entirely out of the money I earned at my part-time job. I got a pretty good deal on it, I must say. Also, most importantly, I did tell you what I was withdrawing that money for. I needed it to pay for Tyler's field trip at school.
Oh, is that what you used it for? Well, if that's really the case, then you should have told me beforehand.
Hello? Earth to Keith. Earth to Keith. Do you read me? I did tell you beforehand. You just either weren't listening or forgot.
Whatever. All right, so maybe you were right about that one. But I still got way more I can talk about. How about that time a few months back when my mom was talking to you about Tyler's education? She was giving you all sorts of valuable advice, but you just completely blew her off and did what you wanted to do. She was trying to be helpful and you were disrespectful to her.
Wait, are you talking about the private tutor thing?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. My mom gave you a whole number of great ideas that would be super beneficial for Tyler's future, but you didn't take any of them. Do you know how much it hurt her to be ignored like that?
Okay, let's get a few things straight. I did not ignore her. She gave her advice and I took it into consideration. However, Tyler is our son and this is his future that we're talking about. It's not your mother's place to be making decisions on ours or Tyler's behalf. And for the record, your mom's suggestions were to hire an expensive private tutor and have Tyler take piano lessons. The problem? Tyler doesn't want to play the piano. He's more into sports. He wanted to join the soccer team, so I allowed him to. That's all. Tyler's old enough to make these sorts of decisions for himself, and we all need to respect that.
Oh, you mean it was Tyler's decision to play soccer? All right, I guess you have a point there, too.
And yet again, I told you that Tyler wanted to join the soccer team months ago. So do you have any other examples of all these stupid and selfish things I say and do? The only examples you've given me so far have been times when you just don't listen to what I told you.
I've got plenty more. About a week before I left on my business trip, I came home early, and what did I find? You were making Tyler do all of your housework while you just laid down on the sofa. How do you explain that, huh?
You're talking about 2 Fridays ago, aren't you? I started feeling kind of sick in the afternoon that day, and after I had finished getting dinner ready, Tyler came up to me and said that he'd take care of cleaning up and that I could go ahead and rest. Isn't he a kind boy? He's always so thoughtful like that.
Wait, Tyler volunteered to do all those chores? Okay, that's fine then.
Now that I think about it, Tyler used my phone to call you and ask you to pick up some medicine on your way home from work. He tried calling you, but you didn't pick up, so he tried calling your office instead.
He called my office?
Yeah, and it was the weirdest thing. When the secretary answered, he asked to speak to you, but she said you had taken the day off. I've been meaning to ask you about that ever since, actually.
Nuh-uh, Molly, not happening. I am not going to let you change the subject. We're talking about your behavior right now.
Wow, that was a nice dodge. I don't really see a problem with my behavior, though.
You're joking, right? What are you doing right now as we speak? You took our son and moved out of the house while I was gone. I'm still waiting for you to justify that. Well, Molly, got anything to say for yourself? You'd better have a good reason for this.
You really want me to say it? All right, suit yourself. Tell me, Keith, where did you go all last week?
This again? I already told you. My company sent me to New Orleans on business.
That's interesting. When I called your office, they said you had taken the entire week off as paid leave.
What? Okay, that's a straight-up lie. I don't believe you for 1 second. I mean, what reason could you possibly have to call my office? You could have just asked me.
Yeah, about that. Coincidentally, my brother was also in New Orleans last week on business. He had finished up his work and was out on the town when he saw something that really surprised him. It was so surprising that he had a hard time believing it was real, so he took a picture of it and sent it to me. He took it from pretty far away, so the quality isn't great, but I could tell right away. It was a picture of you, walking hand in hand with another woman.
What? No, that's impossible!
You look like you were having a pretty good time for someone who was supposed to be hard at work. But I can see that you must not need me and Tyler around anymore. Why would you want to be tied down by your boring wife and son when you could have week-long vacations with your fun, exciting mistress?
Molly, wait, I can explain!
From the way you were smiling in that picture, I'll bet you want to divorce me and go hook up with her as soon as possible. And I'm feeling generous, Keith, so I'll give you exactly what you want. But unfortunately, I am going to have to ask you to pay alimony and child support for Tyler.
Molly, wait, listen to me!
I am all ears, Keith. Do you have anything to say for yourself?
Let's say for a moment that I really was cheating on you.
That's an easy thing to say because you really were cheating on me. Let's drop the facade and have an open discussion like adults, okay?
Would you calm down for a second and let me speak? Think about it, Molly. For starters, okay, I'm sorry that I lied to you and said I was working when I was really just taking a week-long vacation alone. But just because I'm holding hands with another woman does not mean I'm cheating on you.
What else could it mean?
Well, there's all sorts of things it could mean. It could have been an old friend from school, or a sibling, or a cousin. There are a million possibilities. You can't just see a picture of me with a woman and immediately assume I'm cheating.
Keith, you don't have any sisters. And think about it from my position. I already know that my husband was lying about being at work to take a vacation. Really, that alone is more than enough to make me suspicious that you're having an affair. Even before your supposed business trip to New Orleans, I already knew that you were lying about going to work and taking time off. So when I saw that picture of you, it clicked. You must have been meeting up with her on that day, too.
You have an incredibly active imagination, Molly. You should become a creative writer. But you're letting your imagination run away with you. I simply forgot to tell you that I was taking the day off that day, that's all.
Uh-huh. Then why did you say earlier that you finished work early that day?
Oh, that? I don't know. I must have gotten my days mixed up.
Right. I think at this point I should tell you that my brother took one more picture.
He did?
Yep, and this one's gonna be a bit harder to explain. The two of you were making out.
We were?
So let's see if I can make that picture fit in with your excuses just now. You, a married father, lied to me, your wife, and said you were traveling on business. When there, you just so happened to bump into an old female friend, sibling, or cousin, and then you went on to make out with that friend, a long-lost sibling or cousin. Well, which is it? Were you making out with your friend, sister, or cousin?
She isn't a family member for what it's worth.
Obviously, it doesn't really matter whether you and her went on vacation together or if you just happened to meet up while you were there. You're a cheater either way, and I can't allow a cheater like you to have a negative influence on Tyler. And there's your answer, Keith. That's why I moved.
But it's still not okay for you to just up and move without telling me anything. We're a married couple and we have a son. This is something that we should talk about together. I mean, think of the effect this is going to have on Tyler.
I don't want to hear any lectures on marriage and parenting from a cheater. And you don't need to worry about Tyler. I already explained everything that he needs to know. He'll be fine.
You need to be more specific than that. What did you say to Tyler about me? How exactly did you explain the situation?
Yeah, about that. How exactly would you break that sort of news to a boy Tyler's age? I mean, he's in the 6th grade and all. He's old enough to understand some things, but not old enough to understand others. It's not like I can just go to him and say, "Hey, Tyler, your dad's banging another woman."
Okay, then what did you say?
That's just the thing. Back when my brother first sent me the picture of you and that woman making out, Tyler was standing next to me. He looked over and saw it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, uh-oh is right. But I was surprised by his response. While I sat there panicking, wondering what to say, he just said, "Oh, so Dad is cheating on you."
You mean he had already caught on?
The day I got sick, he tried calling you, but you didn't answer. Then he tried to text you, but you still didn't respond. He thought something was strange. There's no way you would be so indifferent to your wife's condition, right? He assumed that the messages must not have gotten to you, so he decided to check your phone to see if they got sent properly. And that's when he saw some suspicious messages coming from another woman. I've got to hand it to him. He played you like a fiddle. After you got home, he asked you if he could see your phone so he could play the game you downloaded to it for him a while back. So you just handed it right over without thinking twice.
No way! That nosy little punk!
Looks to me like you're all out of excuses, Keith. You did your best to try and find some way to pin our marriage breakdown on me, but you failed miserably. You'll be hearing from my lawyer regarding the details of our divorce soon. Don't ignore his calls like you ignored Tyler's calls. It won't end well for you. The more you try and fight it, the more money I'm going to take from you for alimony and child support. A few days later, my lawyer called up Keith and set up a time for us to have a friendly discussion about our divorce. But when Keith walked into the room, who do you suppose walked in with him? None other than the woman who hates me more than anyone else in the world, my mother-in-law. She started tearing into me, criticizing me for everything I ever did, and even more things I never did. Eventually, I got sick of it and said that if Keith was going to be difficult about this, then we can settle things in court. His mother said, "That's just fine by me. It's your fault that Keith cheated on you in the first place. If you want to take us to court and just lose everything, then have it your way." Keith, however, immediately folded and agreed to enter into mediation. Tyler and I moved in with my parents, and we're doing just fine. I also found a company that understands my situation and is very flexible with my schedule, so I'm able to spend a lot of time with Tyler. So from here on out, I just want to keep working my hardest to be the best mom I can be for him.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
are you doing? Oh, Bria, I'm doing great. The morning sickness is finally eased up, so I'm feeling much better now. That's wonderful to hear. You're 6 months along now, right? It won't be long before we get to meet the little one. How exciting! Yes, it's really exciting. My husband is just as excited. In fact, yesterday he bought a soccer ball for the baby. Oh, wow, your husband's really getting ahead of things, huh? But I totally get it. I'm looking forward to meeting my nephew, too. I'll be sure to pray for an easy delivery for you. Thank you so much. By the way, do you have a minute? I actually wanted to ask you about something. Oh, what is it? What's on your mind? Well, I was wondering if you'd like some baby clothes. They're hand-me-downs from my little one. Wait, what? Hand-me-downs? Yeah, they're clothes we got as gifts for my first child. But now that the younger one is already in preschool, they've just been sitting around unused. They're still in great condition, so I couldn't bring myself to throw them out, especially since they were gifts. I thought it would be better to give them to you or even to Kylie since she's also pregnant. I thought maybe you two could use them. I'll send you some photos, and if you like any of them, just let me know. I'll check with Kylie as well before sending them. I don't need them. Please don't try to push your old things on me. What? Hand-me-downs are just that, old, worn-out things, and they're kind of gross. You don't know what's been on them or what they've been through, so it's just unpleasant to me. Please don't try to give me things like that. But I checked them all. There are no noticeable stains, and they haven't been worn that much. They're still in great condition. But they're still secondhand, aren't they? I want to dress my baby in brand new clothes, not in someone else's old things. Do you think my baby would be fine in someone else's hand-me-downs? No, that's not what I meant at all. I've noticed this about you for a while now. Just because you were the first to get married and have the first grandchild, you look down on me thinking I'm too old to be getting married or pregnant now. That's why you're okay with trying to push your old clothes onto me, isn't it? That's not how I feel at all. I just thought it might be helpful, that's all. Well, I don't need them. I'm the eldest daughter-in-law, so I'm the one with more status here, you know. I got married while I was still in school, and I don't need handouts from someone who hasn't even had much life experience. If you want to give them away, how about to your brother? He's the type to take anything, even old rags. That's not fair. Kylie is kind and full of energy. She's a really good person. She's probably just not thinking things through. Anyway, I don't want any of your trash. If you want to pass them on, go give them to someone else. I understand. I'll leave you alone then. What's up, Elia? Well, I know you're about 4 months pregnant now, right? I was wondering, if you wouldn't mind, would you like to take some of my baby clothes? They're hand-me-downs, but they're almost all unused because they were gifts for my little one. I haven't really used them, and it feels wasteful to just throw them away. If you're okay with it, of course. Wait, really? You're offering me those? Yes, I'll take them. Absolutely. I'd love to have them. Oh, you'll take them? Oh, I'm so glad. Actually, I asked Chelsea about them earlier, but she said she didn't want any hand-me-downs. I was worried you might feel the same way, but looks like that's not the case. Not at all. I'm more than happy to accept. I've heard babies go through clothes so quickly. They get dirty and need to be changed all the time, so the more clothes, the better. It's honestly such a huge help. Thank you so much. I'm so glad to hear that. I'll send them over without any hesitation then. Honestly, I was planning on sharing them with Ichika, but since Chelsea refused, I'll just share everything with you. I'll try to pick out the nicest ones, but if any don't suit your tastes, feel free to send them back with the shipping paid on your end. Are you sure? Oh, thank you so much, Kylie. I promise I'll take good care of them and make sure to dress my little one in them when they arrive. Thank you. That really makes me happy to hear. I'll get them ready to ship tomorrow. Yay, thank you. I'm so excited. Elliot, wait, hold on a second. What is it, Chelsea? Looks like you've been calling me a lot. What's going on? What the heck is this? What's going on here? What are you talking about? I have no idea what you mean. The hand-me-downs from the other day. I saw something on Kylie's social media today, and what was that? Baby clothes from Bond Point and all those luxury brands? What's going on? Well, as I mentioned before, those are from a friend of mine. She's been working overseas and was thrilled when my baby was born. She gave me a bunch of baby clothes and toys from high-end brands. The ones I gave Kylie were all from that friend of mine.
No way. But those clothes looked brand new. They weren't worn out or full of holes. How is that possible? They must be over 5 years old.
Well, this is a bit embarrassing to admit, but they're expensive items, so I kept them aside to use at the right time. But I ended up keeping them so carefully that my baby outgrew them before I could use them. So they're mostly brand new and unused, actually.
What? Well, if I'd have known, I would have wanted them too. Why didn't you tell me they were from luxury brands? I'll take anything. Baby clothes, toys, stuffed animals, whatever. Send them to me right now.
Well, I already sent them all to Kylie. I don't have anything left here. I don't have anything for you.
Huh? Why don't I get anything? That is so unfair.
But didn't you say you didn't want any hand-me-downs? You said they were dirty and you didn't want secondhand clothes. You told me not to give you any garbage.
But I didn't know they were this nice. If I had known they were brand new and from luxury brands, I would have asked for them. You should have told me sooner. I'll take anything at all.
No. I'm still using some of the toys, so I can't give those away either.
What? Oh, this is awful. You're favoring your sister-in-law so much. This is the lowest thing you could do.
Chelsea, I've been holding back because I didn't want to cause you stress during your pregnancy, but your behavior is just selfish.
What did you just say?
When I offered the clothes, you said, I don't want them, they're dirty. Now that you know their brand name, you're upset that I didn't give them to you. Your behavior sounds like a child throwing a tantrum. You're an adult, so you should know that kind of behavior doesn't work.
Well, if I had known from the start that they were brand name, I wouldn't have said that.
So what should I have done? Should I have asked you, hey, these are brand name, is that okay? Wouldn't that have sounded condescending?
Well, I guess.
Enough, I'm done here. I'm a young wife with little social experience, and I don't have the patience to deal with your selfish, rude attitude. I don't have anything to give you, whether it's brand name or not. If you want something, go buy it yourself. You're the eldest daughter-in-law, so don't come asking me for handouts. Goodbye.
Wait, I'm sorry. I really am. I shouldn't have said all that. I didn't mean it, really. I've just been feeling down, and I was so envious of you, your youth, and how you're having a baby. I felt so miserable about myself being older and still having a baby. And with the pregnancy blues, I ended up taking it all out on you.
Pregnancy blues are tough, but that doesn't give you the right to disrespect your sister-in-law or throw hurtful words at me. Talking badly about Kylie? I'm genuinely upset with you right now. I don't want to see your face again.
But...
For now, we'll keep our interactions to a minimum. We'll stay polite, but distant. I won't be contacting you unless absolutely necessary. At least until I'm ready to let this go. Do you understand?
I'm so sorry, Elia. Please forgive me. I didn't mean to be like this.
After everything had unfolded, I received multiple apology messages from Chelsea, each one more filled with excuses than the last. I could tell immediately that her words lacked sincerity. They were nothing more than justifications, attempts to shift the blame away from her. After the third or fourth message, I had had enough. I turned off the notifications and just left them there, unread, to gather dust. The messages kept coming, but I wasn't interested. At that point, I figured there was no need to engage. I had already made my decision. Until the baby arrived, I would keep things on the back burner and ignore any further attempts at negotiation or explanation. I didn't need to respond to every message, especially when they weren't getting to the heart of the matter. I wanted to focus on what really mattered at the time, which was preparing for the arrival of my child and dealing with the reality of the situation in a way that didn't involve Chelsea's apologies. I thought that would be the end of it. I assumed that after a few weeks things would calm down and I wouldn't hear from her again. But to my surprise, the very next day, Chelsea showed up at my door. And not alone, she was with my brother. They stood there together. As soon as I saw them, I knew something was different. Chelsea was visibly upset, and my brother had this look of regret on his face. Chelsea started talking almost immediately, her voice shaking. I could barely make out the words at first, but eventually it became clear. She was apologizing, genuinely apologizing, and this time with tears in her eyes. She kept saying how sorry she was and that she had realized the extent of her mistake. I could see that she was remorseful, though I didn't know if it was because of the consequences or because she genuinely felt bad for her actions. Either way, the fact that she was there, in person, speaking directly to me, showed that she had taken some responsibility for what had happened. As Chelsea spoke, my brother didn't say much. He just stood there quietly, looking somewhat ashamed. It seemed that he had already been through this with their parents. From what I gathered, my brother had told their parents everything that had happened. He had been the one to explain the full extent of the situation to them, and unsurprisingly, their parents had been upset. I could only imagine how angry they must have been, especially considering that Chelsea was their daughter. But in a way, I was glad that my brother had taken that step, that he had been open with his parents. It wasn't easy, but it seemed like the right thing to do. Watching Chelsea stand there, reduced to tears and full of regret, had an odd effect on me. My initial anger, which had felt so strong just days before, started to dissipate. It wasn't that I had forgiven her completely, it wasn't that simple. But seeing her vulnerable like that made me think about things from a different perspective. She had made a huge mistake, and she had hurt me, but she was human. She was flawed. And maybe, just maybe, she was beginning to understand the gravity of her actions. As much as I wanted to hold on to my anger, I couldn't ignore the fact that no real harm had been done. Yes, her words had been hurtful, and yes, she had crossed a line. But in the end, there had been no lasting damage. The things she had said weren't easy to forget, but they weren't impossible to move past. There was no reason to create a rift between myself and my brother and his family over this. He and his wife were good people, and I didn't want to let a single mistake on Chelsea's part tear our relationship apart. I told her that if she was truly sorry, then I would accept her apology, but I also made it very clear that this was the one and only time I would tolerate something like this. I wasn't going to let her off the hook entirely, but I also didn't want to punish her indefinitely. I simply needed to know that she understood the weight of what had happened. She needed to know that if something like this ever happened again, there would be no second chances. Next time, there won't be one, I said firmly, looking directly at her, making sure she understood the gravity of my words. I wanted her to know that this wasn't something I could just brush off. It had hurt, and it had shaken me in ways I wasn't ready to admit, but I wasn't going to let it destroy my relationship with my brother or my family. To her credit, Chelsea nodded, wiping away her tears. She said she understood and promised that nothing like this would ever happen again. I wasn't sure if she truly understood what she was agreeing to, but I had to trust her words for the time being. I wasn't in the habit of holding grudges, and I didn't want to carry that weight any more than I had to. The tension in the room slowly started to lift, and it felt like we had reached a turning point. It wasn't perfect, but it was a step in the right direction. Months went by, and life moved on. Chelsea and Kylie both had healthy babies, and I became an aunt. Something I had been looking forward to for a long time. I couldn't deny the joy that came with welcoming these new little lives into the world. I was grateful for the chance to be a part of their lives, to shower them with love and affection, and to be the kind of aunt I had always hoped to be. Chelsea and I didn't talk about what happened much after that. There was no need to. We both knew the history, and we both knew the consequences of our actions. But the fact that things had settled down was enough. It was enough that we could all move forward without holding on to past mistakes. The entire situation had changed us, in some ways for the better. We had learned how to apologize, how to forgive, and how to accept the reality of our actions. It wasn't easy, but it was necessary. And as the time passed, the whole hand-me-down incident became nothing more than a funny story we laughed about during family gatherings. What had once been a source of frustration and anger now felt like just another chapter in the ongoing story of our lives. It was no longer something that weighs us down. It was something we could all look back on and laugh about, a reminder of how far we had come. Now life had returned to normal, quiet, peaceful, and filled with moments of joy. The lessons we had learned from that experience had stayed with us, and I was grateful for the way things had worked out in the end. But even more than that, I was grateful for the way it had brought our family closer together. It had been a test of patience, forgiveness, and understanding. But we had come through it stronger, and now with the babies in the picture, everything seemed to have a renewed sense of purpose. We were no longer just dealing with the weight of old mistakes. We were focused on building something positive together. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey, Lily, do you have a minute? We need to talk about something important.
What's wrong, Matt? Did something happen? I haven't heard from you in days, and this is the first text I'm getting? You're making me nervous. Well, if I'm telling the truth, I've been nervous for a while. You told me when you moved over there that you didn't want me to contact you for anything other than emergencies. And I know you're busy with work, so I've honored that request of yours. But you used to text me a couple of times a day, and now I'm lucky if I get one a week.
Oh, I guess I kinda did go radio silent on you lately, huh? You asked me if something happened, and yeah, you could say that something happened, and that's actually related to what I wanted to talk to you about today.
What happened, Matt? Are you okay? Were you injured? Did something happen at work?
No, don't worry about me, I'm fine. It's not that something bad happened to me.
Oh, well, that's a relief. I wish you would have said that sooner, though. So, if nothing happened to you, then what's up?
Yeah, that's the thing. Nothing bad happened to me, but when I think about it, it's not exactly something that you're gonna want to hear.
What do you mean? You're scaring me, Matt. Please, just tell me what's going on.
Okay, well, here goes. About 2 weeks ago, I met a girl. She lives around here, and we got to talking, and we really hit it off. And here's where things get bad for you. She is way prettier than you. She's a lot more fun than you, too. Really, she's just all around a superior woman to you in every way imaginable.
What? Matt, what are you saying?
I mean, I thought that it would be pretty clear what I'm saying by now. Like, how explicit do I have to be in order for you to get it through your skull? God, you can be so dense. I hate the way you need me to hold your hand to help you understand the simplest things.
Wow, Matt, I'm sorry.
Yup, right on schedule. Anytime anything goes even slightly wrong, what's the first thing you always say? I'm sorry. I don't know, I guess that makes you a lot easier to use, so that's not an entirely bad quality.
Easier to use?
Even though you're older than me, you're so passive. Like, seriously, you're a complete pushover. Ordinary people tend to respect themselves more as they get older, but you? Not so much.
Really? Is that how I seem to you?
I think the fact that you didn't try to defend yourself just now proves my point. Sometimes people say that when the woman is older than the man in a relationship, she becomes more like an older sister than a wife. In your case, though, you're more like a red-haired older stepsister.
This is hard to believe, Matt. So you're not really attracted to me?
Honestly, no, not really. I'm a guy, you know? Guys always prefer younger women. It's in our DNA. Back when we first got together, you looked like you were younger than me, and you were always so submissive, so I didn't think anything of it. But man, you sure pulled a fast one on me, huh? By the time I realized how old you really were, it was all too late.
Pulled a fast one? I don't know why you'd say that. I wasn't trying to deceive you or anything.
It's called a lie by omission, Lily. You had the responsibility to tell me how old you were. If you had only done that, I never would have done anything as stupid as marrying you. But no, you waited until the day we went to my parents' place to tell them we were engaged. And you said it so casually to them too, but I almost crapped myself when I heard. I knew I was finished. I couldn't just break up with you that late in the game. Our parents would have gotten upset and everything. It would have been a total mess. So I figured that since you still looked attractive enough that I could always hold out hope that you'd age well. That's the only reason I went through with marrying you.
I see.
But holy cow, was that a massive mistake? The atmosphere is so heavy when you're around, it's like someone turned up gravity a notch or two. Plus, you aren't aging anywhere near as well as I'd hoped. Being married to you is the worst. And then, just when I was starting to think about my future, my company transferred me over here. Getting out of that house opened my eyes to so much. Then I met Kelsey one day while out on the town, and I thought that this was my sign to finally give up the ghost. And she's pretty into me, too. We hit it off great right off the bat.
Kelsey? Is that the name of your soulmate?
Yep, she's young, beautiful, and everything else I want in a woman. She's the perfect girl for me. If you were wondering why I haven't been messaging you these past few weeks, that's why. I felt like it would be a waste of my time and effort to talk to you when I could be talking to Kelsey. It's not like you're gonna stop aging anytime soon. It's all downhill from here, so I've decided to leave you and be with her.
So you've been cheating on me?
Cheating? Nah, that's not what this is. Cheating would imply that you're the woman I should be loyal to, which is simply not the case. Kelsey's the girl that I truly love. She's got such a bright and cheerful personality. Every single second I've spent with her is pure bliss. She's not a major Debbie Downer like you. I don't know what I was thinking marrying you once I learned how old you were. Marrying a woman older than me was always gonna end in disaster. Anyway, I had my lawyer draw up a set of divorce papers a while back. They're in the bottom drawer of my dresser. I already signed them, so you can go ahead and sign them too, then take them down to the courthouse. Oh, and our apartment is in my name, so I'm keeping it. Pack up your stuff and get out as soon as possible. Let me know once you're gone. I'm gonna get my stuff, terminate the lease, and then move over here permanently.
Is that all?
Huh? What do you mean, is that all?
I'm asking you, is that all you have to say to me?
Excuse me? What's up with that attitude? Are you gonna actually try and stand up to me now after you know our relationship is over? Sorry, Lily, but you're too late. All that's left for you to do is shut your mouth and do exactly as I say, just like always.
No, Matt, I don't think I will. Not this time.
Oh, good God, Lily, you're really gonna do this, huh? All right, whatever. I'll humor you this one last time. Go on, say what's on your mind.
Do you really need to ask me? I'm pretty sure you know exactly what's on my mind.
No, I don't actually. I've never cared about what was on your mind before. Why would I start caring now?
No matter how you feel about me, the fact remains that as of right now, you and I are still husband and wife. You can go ahead and say that you truly love Kelsey, but that doesn't change what you're doing. What you're doing is wrong, Matt. It's dead wrong, and you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
For the love of God, are you gonna give me a lecture? Don't act like you're a victim. If you had made even the bare minimum effort to stay attractive to me, then I wouldn't have had to look elsewhere. Do you get that? Since you couldn't even do that bare minimum effort, then I'm well within my rights to do what I'm doing. So lecture all you want, Lily. I don't feel guilty in the slightest for leaving you for Kelsey.
Hold on, did you think I was talking about me?
What?
Wow, you really don't get it, do you? Put our relationship aside for the moment. I am talking about something else entirely.
What are you talking about?
Let me ask you something. You're living in San Francisco right now, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. I'm pretty sure I told you that myself before I left. So what if I'm in San Francisco?
One more question. What's Kelsey's last name?
You want to know her last name? What's your angle? Why should I tell you?
You said you were going to humor me, so humor me.
Whatever. Her last name is Bronson. Kelsey Bronson. There, I gave you her name. Are you going to tell me where you're going with this?
I thought so. I don't think I ever told you this, but I actually lived in San Francisco for 2 years during high school. My dad got transferred there for work just like you did.
I don't care about your history, so what if you lived here before? Oh, wait a second. You're not going to tell me that you actually know her, are you?
Actually, that's exactly what I'm going to say. She and I were good friends back in the day. We still talk to each other by text and social media.
No way! You've got to be kidding me!
Not too long ago, she texted me saying she was seeing a guy now. That was right around the time you completely stopped talking to me. I know Kelsey pretty well, so I can say for sure that she would never agree to date a married man. So that leaves me with only one possible conclusion. Matt, you are lying to Kelsey. And that is worse in my mind than what you're doing to me.
Here we go. Another lecture. Oh boy, just what I was hoping for.
You say it's a lecture. I say I'm simply calling you out for your deplorable behavior. Kelsey is one of my best friends, Matt. I care about her a lot, so I'm going to tell her about us. And once I do, Kelsey's going to know exactly what a low-down, lying, cheating creep that you are.
Don't you dare! I swear to God if you snitch on me. Listen, Lily, all that needs to happen here is you keep your big fat mouth shut. If you don't tell her anything, she won't ever know that I started seeing her while still married to you.
I know. That's precisely why I'm going to tell her everything. I can't just sit back and allow such an important friend to get tricked into an adulterous relationship. I wouldn't be able to forgive myself. I've taken screenshots of our entire conversation, and I am going to send them to her now.
No! I order you not to do that! If you do that, then she's gonna hate me for sure!
What's that? You think I'll make her hate you? I guess this means you do realize that what you're doing is wrong after all.
Please, for God's sake, Lily, do not send those screenshots to Kelsey! I'm begging you! Look, I might have gone a little overboard with you. I said some slightly unkind things to you, and I apologize for that.
Spare me your apologies. What good would apologizing to me do? She's the one that you're lying to. And more importantly, you're too late. I already sent her all the screenshots.
Come on, Lily! Why would you do that to me?
You want to know why? Because if I didn't, then you would get away with it. Kelsey would never know that you were lying to her, and the two of you would go on to live happily ever after. Actually, I take that back. It would just mean a lifetime of suffering for both of you if that happened.
What? What do you mean?
Kelsey's older than me, Matt.
No. She is?
Yep, she was a grade ahead of me in high school.
I don't believe it. That can't be true.
You said it yourself. Marrying an older woman would end in disaster. So while Kelsey deserves to know that you were lying to her, you also deserve to know that she's actually older than me. I'd hate for you to end up marrying yet another older woman. I know how much you hate us.
This is unreal. You mean I got tricked by another old hag? That's two now! How could I let this happen?
There you go again, claiming we somehow tricked you. Why do you keep saying that? If we told you we were younger than we actually were, then you might have had a case. But you just assumed incorrectly how old we are. All Kelsey did was skillfully use her feminine charms to attract you, and it worked, right? Honestly, I'm not trying to justify what you did or anything, but Kelsey is a lot prettier than I am. She's also a real sweetheart, too. I'll bet she has a lot of guys interested in her.
Yeah, well, she's got one less guy interested in her now. You think I'm gonna keep going after her now that I know she's older than me? Think again. So, did you really already send her all those screenshots? Has she seen them? Did she write back to you or something?
She just texted me, actually. Here, I'll copy and paste her message for you. Oh my God! I really have to be more careful with the guys I get interested in. Seriously, though, that guy was your husband? That's absolutely insane! I mean, I knew that you had changed your name after you got married, and Matt had your same last name. But it's a pretty common name, and since there's a lot of distance between us now, I just figured it was a mere coincidence. The craziest thing, though, is the fact that he's younger than me. Like, I was under the impression that he was at least my age. Frankly, his sense of humor and fashion reminded me of my dad's.
What? I do not have an old man's sense of humor. She's out of her mind. I don't look older than her, and I definitely don't act older than her.
Isn't that funny? Looks like the both of you had the wrong idea about each other's ages. Oh, hold on, she just sent one last message. It's about you. I'll send it over. Give me a sec.
What did she say?
You don't need to worry about me, girlfriend. I'm used to getting lied to by loser creeps like him. But you need to kick that guy to the curb, Lily. Take him to the cleaners. Divorce him and take everything that you can on your way out. Oh, and if he cries at the divorce hearing, could you take a picture and send it to me? That would make me feel a lot better. In the meantime, I've got some pictures that I can send you that would sway the judge in your favor. Well, that's good news for you, Matt. You wanted to divorce me, and boy, are you gonna get one. The only downside is that you might have to downgrade to a slightly cheaper apartment, because the amount of alimony I'm gonna get from you will make it look like Jeff Bezos got off easy.
Come on! You can't be serious! What happened to the way you were talking before? You were all like, what you did to Kelsey was worse than what you did to me! But now you're telling me that you're still gonna try and suck me dry in the divorce? How greedy can you get?
Let me stop you right there, Matt. I told you that I was putting our relationship aside for a moment. I didn't say I was putting it aside forever. You have belittled me, mocked me, treated me like trash. You completely ignored me for weeks. And then you only messaged me to tell me that you were leaving me for another woman. Did you think that you were just going to get away with all that? That you weren't going to get any consequences at all? Keep dreaming, Matt. I'm gonna ruin you.
This whole day has been so bizarre! Is this a nightmare or something? Like, I don't think you've ever stood up for yourself to me once in all the time that I've known you! What's gotten into you? Why are you all of a sudden so assertive?
Because you made a fatal mistake when you dragged my dear friend Kelsey into this, lied to her, and tried to make her an unwitting party to an affair. That was enough to make even someone as timid and passive as me get angry. And you are going to pay dearly for making me angry. Say goodbye to your car, Matt. It's going to be mine soon.
Damn it! Getting dunked on by an old woman like you has gotta be the most humiliating experience of my life!
After that, I signed the divorce papers Matt was kind enough to leave for me and took them right to my lawyer. I also gave him the pictures that Kelsey had sent me for evidence of Matt's infidelity. Once all the paperwork got taken care of, I tried to call him to arrange a meeting with our lawyers, but he didn't answer. My first thought was that he was avoiding me because he was afraid of facing me, but it was actually much worse than that. Apparently his supervisor caught him trying to steal cash from his company's office. I can only assume he was afraid of how much money I was going to take from him in the divorce. Oh, Matt, he just doesn't know when to stop. There were so many points along the way when he could have realized he was about to make a mistake and change course. The first was when he found out how old I was. The second was when he was hitting on Kelsey while still married to me. And the cherry on top was when he was about to resort to stealing in order to keep himself financially stable. He could have kept his consequences to just being temporarily broke. Now he's going to be permanently broke and probably in jail. But since he and I are already divorced, that's no concern of mine anymore.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.